Thank you, Anthony Shannon. How does Brother Watkins feel about Jay Morrison and the Tulsa Foundation? Is his
That,
question.
yeah, that's a heavy question. I will say this: I'm an investor in the Tulsa Fund, and I have not seen or felt anything that caused me any personal problems. But
But you've heard the alarming rumors.
I have, and I see everything. I
Mm-hmm.
look at everything, and the thing about it is that number one, I've been asked about it a lot, and I have to just say, look, I don't run another man's business. I don't know exactly the details of how another person runs his business. It's like when I was 24 and one of my friends got accused of rape. It turned out to be a false accusation, thank God, but people were asking me like, "Well, what do you think?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't sleep with men. I ain't never been around me
Mm-hmm.
having sex. I can't tell you." So, in this case, that's kind of what it was, and I think that what I guess my question was if there's this extensive the thing is I'm aware, I know how hard it is to get all through all the regulations to create a fund like that. There's a reason I never did anything like that because I didn't want to go deal with all the paperwork and the legalities of setting something like that up. It's very, very exhaustive and extensive. And the Securities and Exchange Commission is very careful to not allow people to engage in fraudulent behavior. That's how they keep financial markets strong, is they have really strong safeguards in place. So, so my question in response to anybody else's statement would be, okay, if that's the case, then is he in jail? Are they locking somebody up over this? If they're not doing that, then that would tell me that there's more. There's something that's missing here, something that I'm not aware of, right? So I think that what you have to do when you talk about something like the Tulsa Fund, first of all, investing is risky. So if you tell me that somebody is fraudulent because their fund lost money, that doesn't say, that's not an indictment because lots of businesses lose money, thousands of funds lose money. Now, if you tell me that you wanted your money back and you couldn't get it back, my next question for you would be, well, in the contract you signed, was there a lockup period? A lot of real estate funds, real estate's very illiquid. You can't just go in and just grab your money and pull it out whenever you want to. It gets locked up in things. So my question is there a lockup period? Is there a time period that you like? I knew when I gave my money over, I wasn't gonna get it back for 2 or 3 years. Now at that point though, I think that when you talk about the criticism, I think that Jay and the fund, there's room to challenge them and to say, okay, this is what people are saying. Answer to that, right? So when I did talk to Jay, I did say, okay, what are you all doing to respond to that? And what I was told was that there were meetings with investors, that there were some YouTube videos where he would go give his side of the story. And then apparently there's some stuff going on in court. I don't know who's suing who and all this other stuff, but whatever, right?
Are you aware of this whole Young Jeezy, apparently a fake? Somebody was paid $10,000, and Young Jeezy was to present, allegedly,
Mm.
to present a check um, to the fund to make it seem like, to make the people in the fund feel like it was official, but really this was not. Did you hear about all of that right there?
I saw something about that,
Mm-hmm.
and that one I don't know. Like I can't really have a verdict on that. Um, Other than there's something called, there's that concept of social proof. Social proof is where people do things and they align themselves with celebrities because that allows other people to feel comfortable participating in something. And if that's the case, I would love to hear them sort of talk about that and explain that in detail. Um, do I see that as necessarily fraudulent? I don't know. Because companies do things like that all the time where they align with celebrities and or they'll have a product where they arbitrarily pick a price and maybe they can have the celebrity they can put a price, a value, a dollar value on something the celebrity did for them that may or may not be reflective of actual real money being invested, right? So almost like if I go do a free speaking engagement and I say, well, my fee is $10,000, and I say, well, I gave you a $10,000 donation. You could say, well, that I did, and you could say that I didn't. I don't know about the Young Jeezy thing, right? I'm not honestly as...
That doesn't sound too ethical to me. I'm going to be honest. If that happened to make people think that your fund is popping and I got celebrities attached to it when really they're not attached to it, that's unethical to me. I'm gonna be quite honest about that.
I think they can be challenged on that, right? And if that's the case, then yeah, maybe there's something that has to be explained. I remember when Russell Simmons was in court and they were asking him about one of his new products or whatever, and he had said he had inflated the sales numbers, and he basically said that you tell people that you're selling more than what you're selling because then they'll believe that what you're doing is popping and everybody's going to want to go buy it. And he said that in the court of law. And is that something I would do? I'm not a fan of that, right? I'm not a fan of saying something that's not true. I don't like getting caught in lies. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I mean, I'm as curious as you are. Does that mean that the Tulsa Fund is a complete fraud? I don't think that is necessarily a conviction of the Tulsa Fund. I personally think that when I'm looking at what's going on, when I'm listening to the criticism, I sort through the stuff that appears to be legitimate versus the stuff that appears to be personal. I look at the origins of things. I don't believe that all of this outrage would have occurred had there not been an initial disagreement between Jay and Tony. And what I did say to Tony and Jay is I said, this is personal. This is between
who's Tony?
Tony the closer.
Okay.
Tony the closer. I guess they had a business deal and something went wrong. And so Tony's been pretty persistent about going after Jay, and he's pulling the community into this. And I don't like that.